Adisant.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Welcome to Srila Prabhupada book reading classes. This is the morning session, and here we are reading the book Lord Chaitanya, His Teachings and His Life. So, we are at intimate part where Lord Chaitanya is discussing with the Ramananda Rai, that is what is the goal of human life and what is the perfection of human life and how this spiritual advancement is taken. And we also see the process and gradual process and one is the on other path, which is the bhakti, which is that like a lift, like which can immediately transfer us from this material body to the spiritual body, from this from this bhuloka to the goloka. But and like also like it is given na sadhya and sadhya. Sadhya is what we have to achieve, what is our goal, and sadhana means by which process we can attain this sadhya. Okay, so let's start our session with our offering prayers to our senior acharyas. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य
Indus
ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरं मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहित कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितां च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So let's go through a summary quick. So we are seeing that Lord Chaitanya is traveling to is travel to the Jagannath Puri where he get the ecstatic feats. So so he is taken care by the Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who is the head puchari of the Jagannath temple. He studies the ecstatic symptoms of a Lord Chaitanya. So like if anyone is trying to impose and try to fake the ecstatic feats, so he can recognize. Then like they are talking Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is the Vedantist. So he start explaining the Lord Chaitanya Vedantas. But Lord Chaitanya reject all of his explanation by saying that the Vedantas are like a bright sun and like your explanations are like a cloud which are covering the suns, because like you are interpreting, like you are not giving the Vedas as they are. So like he also tell them like there is a very pure devotee named as the Ramananda Rai. So Lord Chaitanya is traveling to the south. So he go to the Narasimha temple, and then he go to the banks of Godavari where he was very ecstatic. Why he was ecstatic? Because he see everything as Vrindavana. He start seeing that Godavari as the Yamuna Maya, and like he starts seeing the forest as the forest of Vrindavana. And then he see like some very great governor is coming with the musical bands and a lot of brahmanas. And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu see them, they are like generally sannyasis don't meet the political people. Generally, even the sannyasis don't embrace the Shudras. But then also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced this who has very great position uh, in a government under the king Pratap Rudra. And even he was the Shudra, like Lord Chaitanya embraced him. And also like they are also seeing like Brahmana starts saying, okay, even he is a big governor, then also like why by embracing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here there is a tears in his eyes, because why this happening, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not embracing because he has very great position in a government, or like he is a Shudra. No, he is embracing because Lord Chaitanya himself is the Krishna, and the Ramananda Rai, he is the eternal associate with that Krishna, who is the incarnation of Lalita Sakhi. And who is the Lalita Sakhi? The in the Mahabharata, who is the Arjuna. So in a Mahabharat or in a Mahabharat, Krishna spoke entire Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. So now they are doing reverse here. Like Lord Chaitanya will stay silent, and like he will only promote by asking more and more questions. And Lalita Sakhi or Arjuna is going to explain in a Ramananda Rai incarnation. Okay, so, they meet in the evening where they start the conversation. Like Ramananda Rai want to ask the Lord, Please tell me about this how we should advance in the spirituality." Okay, then but instead like before Ramananda asked, Lord Chaitanya said, please quote some shlokas from the shastras where a goal of human life is a given. So he started from giving references from the Vishnu Puran, that Varnashrama, by following Varnashrama Dharma, by doing our prescribed duties, we can develop the love for God. But Lord Chaitanya said, it is external, you need to go deep, little deeper, because when we follow the only rules and regulation, Krishna is not pleased. Krishna is pleased by our bhakti and our love for him. Okay, and then he moved towards the karma mishra bhakti, devotion mixed with the fruitful activities. Okay, I want to okay, I want to eat pizza, so I'm making pizza, and simply to get rid of this reaction I'm offering. I'm not offering out of love, but I'm offering because it is written in a shastra, or I will get some benefit, or okay, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, but I'm chanting because I want to get some things from Lord. So this is we want something in a return. This is not a bhakti. This is a business, na. So Lord Chaitanya also said this is external, na. Like the motive is not pure. Our motive is not to please Lord, but our motive is to please our senses, na. So then third, then Ramananda proposed that Jnana Mishra Bhakti, they should develop the knowledge, and then detachment along, and detachment along with the devotion. Lord Chaitanya also reject this. Okay, you are getting a lot of knowledge, and you are also getting detached, but there is no love for Godhead, na. Like even the yogis do the same. They have a lot of knowledge about the impersonalism, but what they want, they simply want to go in a Brahmin and stay there. Their idea is to merge with a Brahmin, but we have seen they are not able to merge with a Brahmin. They will stay there as an individual spark. Okay, so out of boredom, they again fall in this material world. So even there is no use of such impersonalism. Even why personalism or Brahmin realization is not greatest, because entire the knowledge of spirituality is not there. No? How entire knowledge of spirituality is not there, because you are simply going and staying in a Brahman. There is no service, there is no exchange of a rasas, and you don't have idea beyond this Brahman there are a spiritual world, and in that spiritual world we can do everything with the Krishna, in the Vatsaras, in the Shantaras, in the Madhurya ras, in any rasa, in any rasas, we can enjoy with the Lord, and we can give pleasure to the Lord, but they don't have any idea. Can we imagine we are simply going and staying in a light, and other hand we can eat with the Krishna, we can play with the Krishna, and we can do many activities of Krishna, we can relish everything. So this is better, no? Then Ramananda further quoted that like from the Bhagavad Gita 18.66, one should give up all the material duties and fully surrender onto the Krishna. Then Lord Chaitanya first time approved. Yes, like now you are coming to the point of a pure devotion. So, so what we are learning from this, uh, Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, they don't like us like simply following Varnashrama Dharma, simply following rules and regulations. They also don't like the Karma Mishra Bhakti, means we are acting out of because we want some profit, we want some fruitive activity, fruitive results, and like they also reject the Jnana Mishra Bhakti, devotion mixed with the knowledge. Okay, I want to get a lot of knowledge and merge in the Brahmin. So Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna also reject this. And but what they welcome is the Shuddha Bhakti. So they don't want Mishra, Mishra Bhakti, they want the pure devotion service. So uh, Lord Chaitanya said, you have to go a little more deeper. So they start speaking about the prema bhakti. Then Ramananda Rai start explaining the intense love for Lord Krishna, and he give the examples of gopis of Vrindavana who love Krishna without any selfish desire. So like yes, we shouldn't have any selfish desire. We shouldn't mentally speculate, and we should give up all the fleeting desires, and like we should be free from all the material contamination. Then it is called as a pure bhakti. And now we now in this chapter we will learn further about in which as we can associate with the Lord, and which is the highest, and which is the highest perfection, and which is the highest perfection of love. Okay, so Hare Krishna, who wants to read, please they can raise their hand.
Hare Krishna Mataji, should I read?
First, Prabhu, you can read. Okay, so we are at chapter 30, Transcendental Pastimes of Radha and Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The transcendental pastimes of Radha and Krishna. The difference between ordinary religious activities and devotional service is very great. By executing religious rituals, one can achieve economic development, sense gratification, or liberation, that is, merging into the existence of the Supreme. But the results of transcendental devotional service are completely different from such temporary benefits. Devotional service of the Lord is evergreen and it is increasingly transcendently pleasing. Thus, there is a gulf of difference between the result derived from devotional service and those derived from religious rituals. The great divine energy from the uh, Jada Distatri or Mahamaya, the superintendent of material world, and the material departmental directors, the demigods, as well as the product of the external energy of the Supreme Lord, are but perverted reflections of the opulence of the Supreme Lord. The demigods are actually order carriers of the Supreme Lord and thus help manage the material creation. In the Brahma Samhita 5.44, 52, 49, it is stated that the workings of the supremely powerful superintendent Durga are but shadows of the workings of the Supreme Lord, that the sun works just like the eye of the Supreme Lord, and the Brahma works like just like a jewel reflecting a light of the Supreme Lord. Thus, in the material world, all the demigods as well as the external energy herself, Durga Devi and all the different departmental directors are but servants of the Supreme Lord. In the spiritual world, there is another energy, the superior spiritual energy or internal energy known as Yoga Maya. She also works under the Lord's direction. But in the spiritual world, when the living entity put himself under the direction of Yoga Maya instead of Mahamaya, he gradually becomes a devotee to Krishna. On the other hand, those who are after material opulence and material happiness place themselves under the care of the material energy. Mahamaya are under the care of material demigods like Lord Shiva. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is found that when the gopis of Vrindavana decided Krishna as their husband, they prayed to the spiritual energy, Yogamaya, for the fulfillment of their desire. In the Saptasati, it is found that King Surata and the merchant named Samadhi, being under the modes of material nature, worshipped Mahamaya for material opulence. Thus, one should not mistakenly square Yogamaya and with Mahamaya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes,
Thank you,
Sarita
Mother.
Mataji can continue. We need someone who can read fast now because like we have to cover the book.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Second. 1 second. Yeah. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Because the Lord is on the absolute platform, there is no difference between the holy name of the Lord and Supreme Lord Krishna. There are many different names for the Supreme Lord, such as Paramatma, the Super Soul, Brahman, the Super Absolute, Supreme Absolute, sorry, Sri Krishna, what is that?
Srikarta.
Srishtikarta. Okay, Srishtikarta, the creator, Narayana, the transcendental Lord, Rukmini Ramana, the husband of Rukmini, Gopi Natha, the enjoyer of the gopis, and Krishna. In this way, the Lord has different names, and these names indicate different functions. The aspect of Supreme Lord as the creator is different from his aspect as Narayana. Some of the names of the Lord as the creator are conceived by materialistic men. One cannot fully realize the essence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by understanding his name as the creator because this material creation is a function of the external energy of the Supreme Lord. Thus, the conception of God as the creator includes only the external feature. Similarly, when we call the Supreme Lord Brahman, we cannot have any understanding of his six opulences. In Brahman realization, the six opulences are not realized in full, nor is there recognition of eternity, bliss and knowledge. Therefore, Brahman realization is also not complete understanding of the Supreme Lord, nor as Paramatma realization of the super soul, full realization of Supreme Personality of Godhead. For the all pervading nature of the Supreme Lord is but a partial representation of his opulence. Even the transcendental relationship experienced by a devotee of Narayana in Vaikuntha is incomplete because devotees in that relationship cannot realize the relationship between Krishna and his devotees in Goloka Vrindavana. The devotees of Krishna do not relish devotional service to Narayana because devotional service to Krishna is so attractive that Krishna devotees do not desire to worship any other form. Thus, the gopis of Vrindavana do not like to see Krishna in Rukmini Ramana, the husband of Rukmini, nor do they address him by that name. In Vrindavana, Krishna is addressed as Radha Krishna, Krishna the property of Radharani. Although the names Rukmini Ramana and Radha Krishna are on the same level in the ordinary sense, still in the spiritual world, these names indicate different understandings of various aspects of Krishna's transcendental personality. If one equates the names Radha Ramana or Radha Krishna with Rukmini Ramana, Narayana, or any other name of the Supreme Lord, he commits the fault of overlapping taste, which is technically called rasa bhasa. Those who are expert discriminating devotees do not accept such amalgamations, which are against the conclusions of pure devotional service. Less intelligent men think such discrimination is bigotry. bigotry. Although such Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, embodies all super excellence and beauty when he is among the damsels of Praja, where he is known as Gopi Jana Vallabha, devotees feel that his super excellence and beauty have reached the highest perfectional stage. The devotees cannot relish the beauty of Supreme Lord more than this. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10.33.6, it is confirmed that although Krishna, the son of Devaki, is the last word in super excellence and beauty, when he is among the gopis, he appears even more beautiful, like a sublime jewel set among divine golden craftsmanship. Although Lord Chaitanya accepted this as the highest realization of the Supreme Lord as conjugal lover, he nonetheless requested Ramananda Raya to proceed further. Upon hearing this request, Ramananda Raya remarked that this was the first time he had been asked to go further than the gopis' relationship with Krishna in the matter of understanding Krishna. Ramananda Raya Ramananda went on to say that although there is certainly transcendental intimacy between the damsels of Raja and Krishna, out of all relationships, the relationship between Radharani and Krishna in conjugal love is the most perfect. No common man can understand the transcendental flavor of the transcendental love between Krishna and the gopis. What to speak of the ecstasy of transcendental love between Krishna and Radharani? But if one tries to follow in the footsteps of gopis, he may become situated in the highest stage of transcendental love. Thus, one who wants to elevate it to this transcendental stage of perfection should follow in the footsteps of the damsels of Raja as an assistant maid servant of the gopis. Lord Chaitanya exhibited the mood of Srimati Radharani when she contacted Krishna at Kurukshetra after he had come from Dwaraka. Such transcendental love is not possible for any common man. Therefore, one should not imitate this highest perfectional stage exhibited by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But if one desire to be in that association, he may follow in the footsteps of the gopis. In the Padma Purana, it is stated that just as Radharani is dear to Krishna, similarly, the pond known as Radha Kunda is also very dear to him, and that Radharani is dearer to Krishna than all other gopis. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10.30.28, it is also stated that Radharani and the gopis render the highest perfectional loving service to the Lord, and that the Lord is so pleased with them that he does not wish to leave the company of Srimati Radharani. When Lord Chaitanya heard Brahmananda Raya speak of the loving affairs between Krishna and Radharani, he said, "Please go further, go on and on." The Lord also said that he was enjoying with great relish the descriptions of loving affairs between Krishna and gopis. "It is as if a river of nectar is flowing from your lips," he said. Ramanandaraya continued by saying that when Krishna danced among the gopis, he thought, "I am not giving any special attention to Radharani because among the other gopis, Radharani was not so much an object of special love. Krishna stole her away from the arena of the Rasa dance and showed her special favor." After explaining this to Lord Chaitanya, Ramananda Raya said, "Now let us relish the transcendental loving affairs between Krishna and Radha. These have no comparison in material world." Thus Ramananda Raya continued by saying that during the Rasa and Radharani suddenly left the arena as if she were angry that no special favor was being shown to her. Her Krishna was desirous of seeing Radharani in order to fulfill the purpose of the Rasa dance, but not seeing Radharani there, he became very sorrowful and went to search her out. In Gita Govinda, there is a nice verse which states that Krishna, the enemy of Kamsa, wanted to be entangled in loving affairs with women and thus simply took Radharani into the heart and left the company of the other damsels of Raja. The next verse describes how Krishna was very much affected by Radharani's absence and being thus distressed in mind, began to search her out along the banks of Yamuna, falling to find her. He entered the bushes of Vrindavana and began to lament. Ramananda Raya pointed out that one who discusses the purport of these two special verses of Gita Govinda can relish the highest nectar of Radha and Krishna's loving affairs. Hare Krishna. Although there is Although there were many gopis to dance with, Krishna especially wanted to dance with Radharani. In the Rasa dance, Krishna expanded himself and placed himself between every two gopis, but he was especially present with Radharani. However, Radharani was not pleased with Krishna's behavior, as described in Ujjvala Nilamani. The path of loving affairs is just like the movement of a snake. Among young lovers, there are two kinds of mentality, causeless and casual. Thus, when Radharani left the arena of the Rasa dance out of anger at not receiving special treatment, Krishna became very sad because he could not see her among the other gopis. The perfection of the Rasa dance was considered complete due to Radharani's presence, and in her absence, Krishna considered the dance to be disrupted. Therefore, he left the arena to search her out. When he could not find Radharani after wandering in several places, he became very distressed. Thus, it is understood that Krishna could not enjoy his pleasure potency even in the midst of all other gopis, but in the presence of Radharani, he was satisfied. When this transcendental love between Radharani and Krishna was described by Ramananda Raya, Lord Chaitanya said, I came to you to understand the transcendental loving affairs between Krishna and Radha, and now I am very satisfied that you have described them so nicely. I can understand from your version that highest loving state is that between Krishna and Radha. Yet Lord Chaitanya still requested Ramananda Raya to explain something more. What are the transcendental features of Krishna and Radharani, and what are the transcendental features of reciprocation of their feelings, and what is the love between them? If you'd kindly describe all this to me, I will be very much obliged, except for you, no one can describe such things. I do not know anything, Ramananda Raya. Ramananda Raya replied in all humility. I am simply saying what you are causing me to say. I know that you are Krishna himself, yet still you are relishing hearing about Krishna from me. Therefore, please excuse me for my faulty expression. I am just trying to express whatever you are causing me to express. I am a Mayavadi sannyasi, Lord Chaitanya protested. I have no knowledge of transcendental features of devotional service. By the greatness of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, my mind has become clear. And now I am trying to understand the nature of devotional service to Lord Krishna. The Bhattacharya recommended that I see you in order to understand Krishna. Indeed, he said that you are the only person who knows something about love of Krishna. Therefore, I have come to you upon the recommendation of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Please then do not hesitate to relate to me the confidential affairs between Radha and Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji. In, in this way, Lord Chaitanya actually took the subordinate position before Ramananda Raya. This had very great significance. One who is serious about understanding the transcendental nature of Krishna should approach a person who is actually enriched with Krishna consciousness. One should not be proud of his material birth, material opulence, material education, material beauty, and with these things try to conquer the mind of an advanced student of Krishna consciousness. One who thus goes to Krishna conscious person, thinking that he would be favorably induced, is under a misconception about this science. One should approach a Krishna conscious person with all humility, put relevant question to him and not challenge him. If one if one were to challenge him, such a highly elevated Krishna conscious person would not be available to receive any tangible service. A challenging, puffed up person cannot gain anything from a Krishna conscious man. He simply remains in material consciousness. Although Lord Chaitanya was born in a high Brahmana um, family and was situated in the highest perfectional stage of sannyasa, he nonetheless showed by his behavior that even an elevated person would not hesitate to take lessons from Ramananda Raya. Although Ramananda appeared as an householder situated in a social status beneath that of a Brahmana. Thus, Lord Chaitanya clearly showed that a sincere student never cares whether his spiritual master is born in a high Brahmana family or Kshatriya family, or whether he is a high grade sannyasi or a brahmachari or whatever. Whoever can teach one about the science of Krishna is to be accepted as Guru. Hari Bol. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Haribol Mataji, thank you, Mataji. So tomorrow we will explain this and then we can move to the 31 chapter also. Sharmila Mataji, tomorrow like you will get the chance to read. Now we are moving towards the because it will get we will require 2 to 3 days for the next chapter, na? The supreme perfection, and then 2 to 3 days for conclusion also. So we need to move little faster because we have to start our new books also, na? I think Isha Upanishad and the Nectar of Instruction. Okay, now we will start with the Mukundmala Stotra. And like we are not at that platform that we are going to explain this affairs which is very intimate part, no? But we will give some, because we are not that much purified, what in purport also we read, na? Firstly we need to be get out of this material concept, no? Why Prabhupada, okay, this is the highest knowledge, na? To read the 10th canto, and in that also a description between the rasa dance. But why Prabhupada rejected that? Okay, this is the highest perfection, that it means we can take it directly, na? But why it is necessary to go through the first canto, cover a lot of chapters and lot of verses, and then we have to go to this 10th canto, and that also then then after reading all the chapters, then to the rasa. Because we are not that much purified, we still have some material concepts now. We firstly we need to know who is the Krishna. He is he is the owner of entire universe. He is the creator, maintainer, destroyer. We should firstly learn about his supreme features. When our intelligence is fully fixed, okay, Krishna is the supreme person, and what opulences he have, what other avatars he has taken, and how he protected his devotees. When our consciousness get pure, then when we are fully mature to understand this subject, then we move to these subjects. Okay, till now until we get okay, we have to read about this, but after what, after covering all the 9 cantos of a Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so then we can move to this internal affairs, because this is very intimate, and our material senses will misunderstand, and we are able to commit the offenses, no? So yes, yesterday, so today, now we are starting the Mukundmala Stotra. So yesterday we see that okay, devotees shouldn't maintain the material ambitions, but devotees are much more ambitious than the material people. Why? Because they are not ambitious for the temporary things, which is give them happiness within the 30-40 years, but they are ambitious for something which is the eternal, and which is give you unlimited bliss, and and which is the highest perfection of human life. So they are very ambitious. And even the people who are taking devotional service, they are very ambitious, because they want to approach the Krishna with the Sakhya rasa, Dasya rasa, and even the Vatsalya rasa, and they have to give the enjoyment to Krishna by associating with him, and this is the highest perfection. Then how ambitious they are. And other people's on other hand, material, they want to do some car, they have to start some business, or they want a big house, but it will get destroyed within some years, no? And even in body they are thinking, it is also going to destroy. Hare Krishna, Vinod Prabhu, who can start with the 41 shloka.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Translation. Raising my arms, I utter this compassionate advice as loudly as I can. If those in the renounced order want to be delivered from the terrible poisonous condition of material life, they should have the good sense to constantly hear the mantra Om Namo Narayana. Purport. King Kulshesha addresses this verse to those who are renounced and are also intelligent, two qualities essential for becoming fully Krishna conscious. As for renunciation, it is the basis of advancement on the path of yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita 6.2, Lord Krishna states, what is called renunciation is the same as yoga, or linking oneself with the Supreme. For no one can become a yogi unless he renounces the desire for sense gratification. In Kulashekhara's verse, the word Yattaya, translated as members of the renounced order, refers not only to those who have formally accepted the sannyasa or mendicant order, but to all those who have embraced the true spirit of renunciation. Krishna defines sannyasa as follows: one who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obliged is in the renounced order of life, and he is the true mystic, not he who lights no fire and performs no work. Bhagavad Gita 6.1. In other words, anyone who works solely for the pleasure of Krishna without a tinge of self interest has attained true renunciation. Intelligence is also required to perform devotional service, especially to take up the chanting of the holy names, as Karna Bhajna Muni says to King Nimi in the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting of the holy names of God to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Intelligence is not gauged by IQ examination, but by the ability to distinguish the permanent from the temporary, the true from the false, the good from the bad, and to act on that understanding. One can acquire such genuine intelligence only by hearing from a bona fide spiritual master and the authorized Vaishnava scriptures. Then one will have the good sense to sacrifice immediate temporary sense pleasures, prayers in the interest of attaining permanent good Shreyas, pure love of God and liberation from birth and death. In the previous two verses, King Kulaseswara has expressed himself emphatically, raising his arms and chanting as loudly as he can. He has learned the most precious secret of existence and does not wish to hide it. That which is of such inestimable value. The mantra, composed of the names of God, should not be kept secret. People should not be denied access to it, even if they seem unqualified. Once the Acharya Ramanuja was given a secret mantra by his guru, who told him that revealing it would be detrimental to his spiritual advancement. But Ramanuja loudly chanted the potent mantra and taught it to the people in general. When his guru asked him why he had done this, Ramanuja said that if the mantra was beneficial, then he wished to give it to everyone, even at the risk of going to hell. This mood is reflected in Lord Chaitanya and his Sankirtana movement, not considering who asked for it and who did not, and who is fit and who is unfit to receive it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distributed the fruits of devotional service. Adi 9.29.36. Especially in the present age, most people do not have sufficient good karma to attain renunciation and higher intelligence. And yet, every living entity, being a pure spirit soul, originally has all good qualities. The acharyas and preachers help conditioned souls bring out their dormant good qualities by inducing them to chant the holy names again and again. King Kulaseswara recommends Harinama in the form of both congregational chanting, Sankirtana, and individual meditative chanting, Japa. There are no hard and fast rules for chanting the holy names of the Lord. But what is hard, fast rule, especially in this age, is that everyone must take part in calling on God by his innumerable names. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, like, yes, like how beautiful purports are, na? Like, simply by hearing, like, it's like a nectar flowing. So, like, yes, we don't have to hear from ears and then we have to forget, okay, what we have learned. No, like, we have to hear, but we also have to apply. So, what here is saying, raising my arms, I utter the compassionate advice as loudly as I can. If those in renounce order want to be delivered from terrible poisonous condition of a material life, they should have to have a good sense to constantly hear the mantra Om Namo Narayana. So okay, like here they are emphasizing, like okay, like they says like when you are renounced, when you are in, when you take the sannyasa, then you can worship the Krishna. But and yes, this is a very terrible and poisonous condition of material life. We are suffering from the birth, death, old age, disease, and also the like adi bhautik, adi atmic, adi devik, like miseries. So what is the solution to get free from these miseries and like free from our real problems is simply to chant the holy name. So, and we also seen like, okay, the holy name is so powerful and like, so we can only chant the holy name. Na? We will simply chant the holy name and like, we will simply do the kirtan. What is necessary for attending lectures? What is necessary to read the books? And why is necessary to hear the Harikatha from the Acharya? Like, we can simply chant, okay, we have to chant, but we have to chant without offenses. And like, we can see like, we are committing after chanting for 4 or 5 years also, or even after the 10 years, we are like we are like this we are also chanting in the offense state because like our heart is not purified, we don't have the enough knowledge. And here to attain to become fully Krishna consciousness, we require two things. Na? First is we should renounce, and like second is the intelligent. Renounce means it's not that like you have to you have to take the Harinam Riksha, then you have to take the Brahman Riksha, then you have to take the sannyasa. No, renounce means like we have to give the renounce, we have to renounce the desire of a sense gratification, and like we can take we can renounce the desire of sense gratification even in a student life. We can renounce the desire of a sense gratification even in a grihastha life. It is not that like we have to take the sannyasa only. No. So, like renunciation means we have to give up this sense gratification. Okay, I have to say, gratify my senses. I have to work very hard to stay comfortable in this material world. And like then Krishna also defines now what is sannyasa mean to him. So, like in Bhagavad Gita 6.1, what Krishna says, one who is unattached to the fruits of a work and who works as he is obligated in the renounced order of a life. He is a true majestic, not he who lights no fire and performs no work. Okay, like people renounce now. Okay, like I'm renouncing everything, whatever I have, I'm renouncing everything, and I'm going in a Himalaya and staying there. He is not doing any work, and like so he's not performing any work, and he said that I am renouncing everything. But like renouncing, okay, you are renouncing, but what belongs to you? Like whatever assets we have, they're given by Krishna. So rather than giving up, like Krishna is so merciful, he has given you assets. So instead of using these assets in Krishna's service, you are giving them up. Is it disrespect to the Lord Krishna? Okay, someone is giving you something, so instead of using this assets in their service, like we are simply rejecting. So this is not good. So this is not a true renunciation. So like what is true renunciation? That like yukta vairagya means, okay, whatever assets Krishna has given me, I have to engage all things in Krishna's service. So this is the real renunciation. This is the real sannyasa. And whatever work I'm doing, I'm not doing for my own sense gratification, but I'm doing so that I can satisfy Krishna, I can please Krishna. Okay. So, in other words, anyone who works solely for the pleasure of Krishna without tinge of a self-interest has attained the true renunciation. So, okay, we are working for Krishna's pleasure, not for our senses' pleasure, and like there is no tinge of self-interest. Okay, if I like worship Krishna, I will get a lot of pious activity, and like if I do this, na Krishna will fulfill my desire. So there is no self-interest. We are pleasing Krishna like simply out of love for Krishna, not for any self-interest. And so this is the true renunciation. So what is the true renunciation? That like we have to work for Krishna. It's renunciation is not about giving up everything and go in a Himalaya. No, renunciation means yukta vairagya. Whatever assets Krishna has provided you, you have to utilize in Krishna's service, and not out of some self-interest, but just only for out of a pure love and pure devotion for Lord Krishna. Okay, so like, okay, renunciation is required, so we understand what is renunciation. Now it is also required, like a devotional service also requires second feature. What is the second feature? Intelligence. So what is this intelligence? Okay, like this intelligence is like, okay, when you do the IQ test, your IQ is coming more than Einstein, so that are you intelligent? No, this is not intelligence. So like intelligence, like it's not like you are blindly following. Intelligence is also required for performing devotional service. So what kind of intelligence is required? To chant the holy name, and like take the part in a congregational chanting of a holy name, because this is the yuga dharma, na? Like every yuga has a dharmas. Like in some yugas they have to do the like a yoga, like and they have to do the meditation, then they have to do the yajna. But like Kali Yuga people, okay, they are very misfortunate because like they are always disturbed, and like they are alpa ayushi, na? They have very less lifespan, and they are very less intelligent. Then also like this is benefit for them, that like simply by chanting holy names they can go to the Vaikuntha. They can uh, get the same benefit as like people used to get, like by doing the tapasya for the thousands and lakh of years. But we have to chant, and because of our laziness and like ignorance, we are not chanting the holy names properly, and we still committing offenses, like especially me. Okay, I'm not saying, because you are all are great devotees. Okay, so yes, like, so what is the intelligence? So intelligence is not just about the IQ examination. Intelligence is ability to distinguish the permanent from the temporary. So we should know, okay, like whatever material comforts, like I will work for 18 hours a day and I will try to accumulate all of the material comforts, but they are going to destroy with this body. And okay, if I chant the only single holy name, if I offer the single flower to Krishna, if I if I hear the, at least for the, even for the 5 minutes I hear the Hari Katha, then like whatever benefit I'm getting, it is accumulated in Krishna's diary. Like Krishna don't forget a single service like we done to the Krishna. Krishna written everything in his diary. So like whatever spiritual activities we do, like Krishna will keep account, and they are the they are the eternal. They are not going to destroy with this body. And like yes, this body is not permanent, but my soul, I am like this soul, who am I, like is a permanent, and is the permanent, and like this material world is a temporary, but the spiritual world is a permanent. So we should able to distinguish between the temporary and the permanent. And like temporary and permanent means like the spiritual things are permanent, and the material things, like which are like related to the body, they all are temporary. And like what is the true and what is the false? So like everyone like make us now like, okay, if you get a good marks, then you will get into good college, then like you will get a good degree, and then you will get a good job, then you will get a lot of money, then you will buy the house, then you will buy the car, then you will marry some beautiful women or men, then like you can enjoy there, you will have the beautiful kids, then you can marry your kids. And like like when you will approach the next level, you will be happy. And but this is the true or false. Like very senior devotees are here, they can say like this miseries don't end, and this is not a real happiness. So like we should know now, like we don't have to go through, or like we don't have to experience all of these things. And like, we can also see like in a society that even they are very senior to us, like even they are in 40 50s, but still like they say now, like you have to do bhakti in your old age, but still they are not taking the bhakti. And what is the guarantee that we even reach the old age? So like we should know what is the true and false. We should read from the shastras, because whatever written in the shastras is a absolute truth, because it is come from the absolute supreme personality of a godhead. Okay, and we should know what is a good and what is a bad. So what is a good? Like whatever instruction given by our spiritual master, whatever instruction we receive from the Srila Prabhupada books, from the shastras, they are good. And what are the bad things? Like everything like we are doing against this, against the orders instruction of spiritual masters, and breaking the four regulative principles, not hearing the guru and shastras, but hearing our own mind. These are the bad things. Okay, so like yes, this intelligence, and like you may say, okay, then how we can increase our intelligence, because we also see now like the senses are under control of mind, and mind is under control of intelligence. So when our intelligence is strong, then intelligence can control the mind, and then mind can control the senses. So how to like increase our intelligence? It is very simple. We simply have to hear the Harikatha from our bona fide spiritual masters, and we have to read Srila Prabhupada books. When we do these two activities, then like our intelligence increases, and then we will. It is very easy to control the mind and senses. So yes, here it is written now, like a genuine intelligence, like we can acquire such genuine intelligence only by hearing from the bona fide spiritual master and authorized Vaishnava scriptures. Like currently, what are the authorized Vaishnava scriptures? The Srila Prabhupada books, like Bhagavad Gita, even the small books. These are the summary from these large books like Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and other books. Okay, so like then one will have the good sense to sacrifice immediate temporary sense pleasures, prayers, and interest of attending the permanent good, shreyas, a pure love of a God and liberation from the birth and death. So yes, like this is the aim of our aim of human life, yeah, that we have to develop the pure love for Krishna, and like this is the aim, and this is the this is the highest perfection, to develop pure love for God, and this is our aim, to get out of these miseries, to understand the real problems, and like to get liberation from this problem. And like this temporary sense pleasures and some temporary pleasures, and so like we will sacrifice them, because we come to know like these are just a distractions between my aim. Okay, so yes, like here the glorification of a holy name is given, and even the Ramanuja Acharya said that he said that mantra was a beneficial. He wished to give it to everyone, even at the risk of going to hell. So he is here he is telling about the pre-reaching. So we should pre-reach. Okay, we know that oh, how glorious the holy name is. He is the only a holy name is the only solution to get out of to get rid of all the miseries. So like we should distribute to everything, and this is like when we distribute the holy name, when we pre-reached when we pre-reach, like this is the most we become very dear, we become the most dearer to Lord Krishna. So we should try to pre-reach. Okay, rather than gossiping with other people, we should try to give them the holy name. So and we also need to be very careful, because in 10 offenses to the holy name, the ninth offense is that like we don't have to glorify the holy name to the person who are not interested, who are the atheists. And because when we glorify the holy name, they tend to disrespect. So like to whom we have to pre-reach to some innocent people, like who can they simply have some misconception, and they're simply misguided by someone. But like when we give them true knowledge, they can take it. Okay, so yes, we have to pre-reach to everyone, but at the same time we have to take care of this ninth offense also. So not considering who asked for it, who did not, who is not fit, who is unfit to receive it. Lord Chaitanya distributed fruit of devotional service to everyone. So yes, even we are not fit, like we are get the devotional service out of mercy of Srila Prabhupada. It's not that we are qualified, so that's why we have done lot of pious activities. That's why we have get no. It is because of special mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So we should be thankful to him. And especially in the present age, the most people do not have a sufficient good karma to attain the renunciation or higher intelligence. So, this renunciation and a higher intelligence come by sufficient good karma. And until you take the diksha, like whatever chanting you do, whatever spiritual activities you do, they are not counted as a bhakti. They are whatever you do, they are calculated as the a good karma, or else what we say, this pious activities balance increases. Why? Because to do the bhakti, we need some pious activities, we need some good karma. So when we take the diksha, then our uh, real bhakti starts. That's why it is called as an initiation, means starting. Okay, so it is very necessary, when you are fully fixed, and when you are doing the sadhana very well, from the 2 to 3 years, then you can apply for the diksha. Because unless and until you take the big diksha, your pious activities account will be account amount will be goes rising and rising, but it is not calculated as a bhakti. So it is very important to take the diksha from the Pramanik Sampradaya, from the bona fide spiritual master. So yes, yes, no one has that much sufficient good karma to attain the renunciation and higher intelligence, but everyone is a pure spirit soul, and like they have all the good qualities. So the acharyas and preachers help the conditional soul to bring out the dormant good qualities, inducing them the holy names. So yes, currently we are the corrupted with this material consciousness, this bodily consciousness. Like we have very dirty things like envy, jealousy, anger, greed, lust. So our heart is become dirty, it become blackish. But when we chant the holy name, this dirty thing slowly goes, and our heart start get cleaning, and whatever good qualities we have, it start automatically comes out. So yes, for this Kali Yuga, Harinama, congregational chanting, we can do the Sankirtana also, and we can do the Japa also. And there is no hard and fast rule. Like we can chant the holy name at any time and in any condition. Okay. So we can take the next sloka. Hare Krishna. Vinod Prabhari there.
Yes, Mataji, I am there.
Okay. Anyone want to read? They can read. We will go through this one, and then
Hare
we will
Krishna,
stop.
Mataji.
Okay. Yes, Muthumanikam Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji. Translation.
Yes.
My mind cannot turn from Sri Krishna's lotus feet even for a moment. So let my dear ones and other relatives criticize me. My superiors accept or reject me as they like. The common people spread evil gossip about me, and my family's reputation be sullied. For a madman like me, it is honor enough to feel this food of love of God, which brings such sweet emotions of attraction for my Lord. King Kulasegara again purport Srila Prabhupada ki jai. King Kulasegara again expresses his lack of concern about suffering ill repute due to his intense devotion to Lord Krishna. If devotional service resulted in such criticism hundreds of years ago in India, then how much more calumny must devotees undergo in modern countries that have no heritage of worshipping at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Therefore, King Kulasegara gives us a realistic warning and assurance not to be afraid of criticism. When Lord Krishna enjoyed his pastimes in Vrindavana 5000 years ago, the gopis here, his dearmost devotees, also risked their reputations to serve him. In the middle of the full moon, right of the autumn season, he called the gopis by playing his transcendental flute, and they will be rushed out to meet him, disregarding the commands of their husbands, brothers, and other relatives, ignoring such duties as sucking their children and cooking suckling their children and cooking. They broke all the bonds of Vedic propriety and went to meet their lover Krishna. The Lord has very much appreciated this daring sacrifice by the gopis. As stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita, gopis have forsaken everything, including their own relatives and their punishment and scolding for the sake of serving Lord Krishna. They render loving service to him for the sake of his enjoyment. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 4.169. A devotee knows that he is blessing Lord Krishna when he blesses the representative of Krishna, and also when he feels spiritual satisfaction. Enatma so prasidati. At the time he doesn't care about any volume of worldly criticism. When a surrendered devotee faces slights and ostracism, these simply help crush any lingering desire he may have to enjoy the company of family and friends. In this way, Krishna severes the worldly ties of his devotees and brings him entirely under his control and within his shelter. King Kulasegara tells us why he can endure criticism without much pain. He is feeling an abundance of love of God, accompanied by varieties of ecstatic motions, and he considers this to be so wonderful and honorable that he can easily tolerate the petty insults of non-devotees. This kind of the indifference is the effect of advancement in chanting the holy names, as explained in the following verse of Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.40, which Lord Chaitanya says embodies the essence of the Bhagavatam's teachings. Evam Rataha Sva Priya Nama Kirtiya Jadanuraho Druta Sitta Uchai असति अतो रोदति नौति गयाति उन्माद वन नृत्यति लोह बाह्यः. By chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord, one comes to the stage of love of God. Then the devotee is fixed in his vow as an eternal servant of the Lord, and he gradually becomes very much attached to a particular name and form of the Supreme Personality of God. As his heart melts with the ecstatic love, he laughs very loudly on or cries or shouts. Sometimes he sings and dances like a madman, or he is indifferent to public opinion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, yes, like we can see now, like when we are taking the devotional service, like when we are taking the bhakti, like even like what to speak about the society, like even from our own family, they start criticizing us, like why you are doing this, this is not a time, and etc. etc. And why you have to give up all these things. Like so, yes, but like what King Till Kulashekara is saying that he giving us a realistic warning and like assurance not to afraid of a such criticism, like because like we know na yes, highest intelligence is that like we should know what is a temporary and what is a permanent. Yes, devotional service is a permanent and this criticism is a temporary, so like we should ignore this criticism, okay? And yes, of course, like we are not at that stage, we get affected if someone says very ill or some bad or try to criticize the bhakti, but like we should develop the tolerance. Trunada Bishmi China Tararupi Saishrina Mananiya Manadena Kirtaniya Sudhari. When you follow this shloka, then only we are able to chant. But when we start getting affected by these like other people's opinion, then we are not able to chant. So we should try our best to ignore them. Okay. So yes, and like Kulshikra again expresses that lack of a concern about the suffering ill repeat due to the intense devotion to the Lord Krishna. So when we are taking the bhakti, yes, they are suffering, like suffering from our family members, suffering from the society by their ill words. But we should ready, because like simply by like tolerating their insults and their criticism, we are getting the highest thing, like which is we are getting the perfection of this human life, that is a loving Lord Krishna. We are getting the bhakti, which is very 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 rare. So like okay, for Krishna, we should ready to take this criticism, and we shouldn't get disturbed. And like yes, we shouldn't like we won't get disturbed like when we advance in the spirituality. Okay. So yes, like example is given from the uh, from the Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam about the gopis. Like yes, when Krishna called them, gopis give up everything, like they don't care for anything. So like oh, we don't have to do the same. Huh? We have to perform our duties as if we are the best husband, best husband, best wives, the best children, but inside our mind, whatever work we are doing it for Krishna's pleasure, not for the other person's pleasure. Okay. So it's not that we have to give up, but like we have to take the example of a gopis. Even they are serving their husband, serving their children, inside their mind they are fully absorbed in the pastimes of Lord Krishna. So we have to take their this power, because like we have to take the instruction from them. We don't have to simply emit them. Okay. So yes, like a devotee knows that the pleasing the Lord Krishna, he is a pleasing Lord Krishna when he pleases the representative of Krishna. So, like we also sing in a Guru Ashtakamna, Yasya Prasada, Bhagavad Prasada. So when we please the spiritual master, when we please his pure devotees, then Krishna automatically get pleased. It's like when we please the child, a small child, his mother automatically get pleased. Okay. So we have to please by simply following their instructions and simply by rendering like a service to them. And the wonderful and honorable that he can easily tolerate the pity insults of a non-devotee. So okay, like you have to you have to tolerate some insult, but on exchange of this, you are getting love for Godhead. So this small sacrifice you can do it, okay? And this is the kind of indifference is this is effect of advancement in the chanting of holy name. So yes, like this is a third thing, na? Like the first two things we see now, when we will say someone is advanced in the chanting, or when someone is advanced in the spirituality, when he develop the taste for the hearing the Harikatha, and when he develop the taste for chanting the holy name. And this is the third thing, he can tolerate this pity insults and pity criticism. So and yes, by simply by chanting the holy name, one can come to the stage of a or stage of a love for a supreme Lord, and he become fixed in his vow, and then he don't care for anyone. Hare Krishna, who wants to read? Like we will extend our classes for 2 or 3 days because we have to finish this book. Finish this book na before Kartik. Kartik is tomorrow. Kartik will be end, and we still have this nine shlokas. So we try to cover it. Okay. Hare Krishna. Sarita Mataji, you want to read? Sharmila Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Translation. May Krishna. You can hear me, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. May Krishna, the spiritual master of the three worlds, protect us. Continually bow down to Krishna. Krishna has killed all our enemies. Obeisances to Krishna. From Krishna alone, this world has come into being. I am the servant of Krishna. This entire universe rests within Krishna. O Krishna, please protect me. Purport. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Gopi Paranadana Prabhu notes. This verse uses each of the 8 grammatical cases of the word Krishna, one after another. By this Krishna-sized Sanskrit composition, the poet reveals various ways to approach Lord Krishna's names and pastimes. This verse is reminiscent of how Lord Chaitanya, then known as Nimai Pandita, taught Sanskrit grammar. When he was a 16-year-old schoolmaster, he opened his own Chatuspati village school in the area of Navadvipa. And at first, he would teach grammar in the traditional way. But after returning from Gaya, where he received initiation from Srila Ishwarapuri, he would simply explain Krishna in all the readings of grammar. Srila Prabhupada writes, in order to please Lord Chaitanya, Srila Jiva Goswami later composed a grammar in Sanskrit in which all the rules of the grammar are exemplified with the holy names of the Lord. This grammar is still current and is known as Harinamamrita Vyakarana and is prescribed by the syllabus of Sanskrit schools in Bengal even today. Srimad Bhagavatam Introduction. Here, King Kulashekara addresses the Lord as a spiritual master of the three worlds, the killer of the enemies, and the creator and maintainer of the universe. Although the Supreme Lord appoints intermediaries to represent him as Guru, protector, creator, and maintainer, Lord Krishna is the ultimate person behind all those who act on his behalf. The bona fide initiating and instructing Gurus faithfully carry the message of the original Guru, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Also, the Lord is a Guru in a more direct sense, since he personally becomes a spiritual master for any aspiring devotee even today through his teachings in the Bhagavad Gita. And as the Chaitya Guru, the spiritual master within the heart, he is also the personal inner guide for every living being. In a similar way, Lord Krishna protects all the jivas as Mahavishnu when they merge into him at the time of universal annihilation. And he kills demons for the benefit of all human beings when he appears in his various avatars. Although one should not expect the Lord to come running to protect us or teach us, as if he were our servant. A sincere devotee should expect Krishna's guidance and protection, and also accept them in whatever form they come. The standard method of receiving Krishna's instructions and protection is through the parampara or disciplic succession, which embodies the combined potency of Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu, the spiritual master, the scriptures, and the saintly devotees. Therefore, we may all call out directly to the Lord, "O Krishna, please protect me," and receive His mercy in the parampara. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So yes, this Sarita Mataji, you know this na shloka, the Krishna Rakshatu na Jagatraya. Like we can
Which
Hare
one?
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Which one, Mataji? I didn't get.
This
Avishya
Krishna
Bhara-
Rakshatu
Avishya
na.
Raksh- Oh, no, not this one, Mataji. That we read
Okay, okay.
2 days back.
33,
Krishna
So we can
Tvadiya.
see na.
That one.
33, Mataji.
Krishna Tvadiya. Tava Pankaja
Yes.
Panchara.
So we can see here, na, like in every word there is a Krishna, 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 Krishna everywhere, and like this is how Nimai Pandit used to teach in his Chaturpati, when he started the village school, and by inspiring from him just to please the Lord Chaitanya, Jiva Goswami also composed the Harinam Namamrita Vyakarana, in which yes, concepts of a grammar of a Sanskrit are explained by the holy names of the Lord Krishna. So yes, Lord Krishna as the spiritual master, King Kulshekara addressed Lord Krishna as the spiritual master of the all three worlds and a killer of enemies, creator, maintainer of a universe. And like he's also asking him to protect him. And like although the Supreme Lord appoints intermediates to represent him as a guru, protector, creator, and a maintainer, Lord Krishna is the ultimate person behind all of this. So Krishna is everyone who demigods are acting, even the spiritual masters are acting, they are acting on the behalf of Lord Krishna, and like Lord Krishna is the behind them. And like even the spiritual masters, we know they are nothing but they are the expansion of a Krishna. Like they simply come to take out take out of this material world and take us to the spiritual world, and they are coming here to enlighten us and to reclaim us. So yes, Kulsekara is praying to accept the praying for the protection and how they are protected. That the standard method of receiving Krishna is that receiving the Krishna's instruction and protection through the parampara or a disciplic succession, which embodies the combined potency of a guru, sadhu, and shastra. Means spiritual master, the scriptures, and the saintly devotees. Okay, we are saying that we want a protection. We are asking for the protection, but this protection comes we have to accept through the parampara, not a whimsically. Through parampara means we have to follow the instruction. Okay, whatever. Even the Srila Prabhupada say, na, if you chant the 16 round, if you follow 4 regulative principles sincerely, then I take your responsibility to take you back to the Godhead. You simply have to catch my duty, and you will be there in the spiritual world. So but when this is possible, when we are following the instructions, and then we can call out, "Oh Krishna, please protect me," and we will receive the mercy through the parampara. Whatever service we do, it also goes through the parampara, and whatever mercy comes, it also comes through the parampara. Hare Krishna. Vinod Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Translation.
Yes.
O young cowherd boy, O ocean of mercy, O husband of Lakshmi, the ocean's daughter, O killer of Kamsa, O merciful benefactor of Gajendra, O Madhva, O younger brother of Rama, O spiritual master of the three worlds, O lotus-eyed lord of the gopis, I know no one greater than you, please protect me. Purport. King Kurushesha prayers are all addressed to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his various expansions and incarnations. Sometimes he addresses Lord Narayana or Lord Rama, but very frequently specifies Lord Krishna as his object of special attraction. According to the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.28, Lord Krishna is in fact the source of all incarnations and expansions. All these incarnations are either plenary portions of the plenary portions of the Lord, but Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead himself. In every age, he protects the world through his different features when the world is disturbed by the enemies of Indra. Bhagavatam 1.3.28. In his famous Govinda prayers in the Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma teaches this same conclusive truth or Siddhanta, namely that all incarnations of Godhead and all demigods, as well as the all material and spiritual worlds and their constitutional elements, originate from Lord Krishna or Govinda. Govindam Adipurusham Tam Aham Bhajami. In the text 43, King Kulasesha directly used the name Krishna 9 times, while in the present verse he calls on Krishna by names that refer to his pastimes. The names in this verse are all as good as the name Krishna, since they all arise from Krishna Lila, in which the Lord is known variously as Gopala, a cowherd boy, as Kamshantika, the killer of Kamsa, as Ramanuja, the younger brother of Balrama, or as Gopi Jannatha, the lord of the gopis. Ultimately, all names of God refer to Krishna. For a Krishna devotee, whether God is addressed by the name Krishna or other names, even names of God from other religions, the devotee following the conclusion of the Srimad Bhagavatam and Brahma Samhita always understands that these names ultimately designate the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. In this verse, we also see a combination of personal devotion, objective appreciation of the Lord. One after often finds this in the Vaishnava poetry of the Alvaras of South India, of whom Kurushestra is one. Within a few lines, the Bhakta will praise the Lord for some of his inconceivable, awe-inspiring activities and then exclaim how this same great Lord is his personal Lord in the heart. King Kurukshetra addresses Lord Krishna as the spiritual master of the three worlds and he calls upon the Lord to protect him. One may question, since Lord Vishnu is already protecting all living beings, why should a devotee ask for personal protection? But the Bhakta is not seeking physical protection. He wants his personal loving relationship with the Lord to be nourished and maintained. In other words, he wants the Lord to protect him from the greatest calamity, forgetfulness of him. Sri Prabhupada explains the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is already in charge of the maintenance of this creation by virtue of his plenary expansion, Shirdokshai Vishnu. But this maintenance is not direct. However, when the Lord says that he takes charge of his pure devotee, he actually takes direct charge. Chaitanya Chaitamrit preface. The pure devotee is one who surrenders to the Lord just as a child surrenders to his parents or an animal to its master. When a devotee submits himself in that way, Krishna gives him special attention and protection. King Kurushesha praises the Lord according to the Shastras and according to his Leela, and yet he also calls upon him for personal protection, confident that the Lord will fulfill his promise to reciprocate with all his devotees according to how they approach him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So here, yes, like Kulshekara is calling, oh young cowherd boy, oh ocean of a mercy, oh husband of a Lakshmi, oh ocean of a daughter, oh uh, ocean's daughter. O killer of a Kamsa, O merciful benefactor of a Gajendra, O Madhava, O young brother of a Rama, O spiritual master of a three words, O lotus eye lord of a gopis, I know no one greater than you, please protect me. So like Kulshekara is asking for the protection. And like we can also see that like whatever incarnations of we are saying, they are just a planetary portions or a portion of a planetary portions of a Lord Sri Krishna. And like Krishna is the is the ultimate, is the absolute. And like he is the cause of every causes. And like we even the Brahmaji admit this, like Govindam Adi Purusham Tamham Bhajami. Krishna is the origin for everything. So like in this 43 shloka, like Kulshikra called out Krishna with the 9 names, but these names are connected, like all are connected with Krishna. They are arising from the Krishna Leelas, like a Gopala, cowherd boy, like a Kamsa Danta, like killer of a Kamsa, Gopinatha, like a lord of a gopis or a maintainer of a gopi, and Ramanuja means the young brother of a Balarama. And ultimately, all the names refer to Lord Krishna. So like yes, and even like it is said, like even like from the other religions, Mohammedans or Christians, they take the name of a Lord, but at like who is the whom these names belong? They everything belongs to Lord Krishna, because he's a cause of every cause. So they are also taking the holy names, but they are taking the names indirectly. So like okay, Lord Vishnu is a maintainer, na? So he is already maintaining and protecting all living beings. Then why a devotee is asking for the personal protection? He's not asking for the physical protection. He wants like personal loving relationship with the Krishna, and like to be nourished and maintained. So he don't want a devotee don't want a physical protection, but they want to develop a loving relationship, and this relationship should be nourished and maintained. And like they want protection, they don't want protection from this body or like this, from this miseries. They want protection from the greatest calamity. What is the greatest calamity for the devotees? To forgetfulness of Krishna, to forgetting Krishna. So he is asking for the protection, like not to forget him, like not to forget his holy names. And like how we have to surrender to Lord Krishna, as the child surrenders to the parents, and as an animal surrender to his master. And they call upon the name of a personal protection, confident that Lord will fulfill his promise and reciprocate with the devotees according to how they approach them. So like yes, Krishna reciprocates our desire. Like if you want to associate with Krishna as a servant, then Krishna will reciprocate as the perfect master. If you want to want to relish the relationship with Krishna in a Madhurya Rasa, then he becomes the perfect lover. If you want to relish the relationship with Krishna in a Sakya Rasa, then he becomes the perfect friend. And like here in this world, like we are suffering. Oh, my husband is not doing this. My wife is not doing this. My friends are not doing acting in this way, because they are not perfect. Krishna is the only perfect, and we will get the perfect relationship only with the Krishna and only in the spiritual world. So like we should attach to the Krishna, not to the material people and material in this material world. So Hare Krishna, today we can end here, and tomorrow we will try to finish this Mukundmala Stotra. Only 6-7 verses are remaining. Like I'm feeling little, there is little pain in my heart, because like we can see now how beautiful purports and translations are given. Na? So they are so sweet. So Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya
Hare
Eva
Krishna.
Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Baki
But we
jai.
have to keep our vows now.
Hare
Like in
Krishna.
starting, we see that like we have to take the vows and we have to fulfill the vows. So like we take the vow to complete the Mukund Mala Stotra in the Kartik month. So tomorrow Kartik month is ending. So we are trying to fulfill our vow. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Happy
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Conscious Day.
Mataji.
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
all
Hare
Krishna
devotees,
Mataji, Hare
Mataji
Krishna
and
Hare
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji,
Hare
Krishna,
Happy
Krishna.
Krishna,
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.